Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Who Said What on your favorite channel, The News God. Now, in this show, we are going to bring you iconic and remarkable things that people have said and done during each week. And in this very first episode, we are going to be looking at the vetting process of the deputy ministers designated for the various ministries in Ghana. Now, their vetting process began on Monday, 24th February to Friday, 28th February. And I know some of you didn't have much time to watch the vetting process, so I took it upon myself, Miss Anjishima, to bring you some key highlights and unforgettable moments from this week's vetting. So, without much ado, let's get right into it. All right, so in our very first highlight, we are going to be looking at the vetting process of the Deputy Finance Minister designate Thomas Nyaku Ampim. In his vetting process, a committee member asked a question that other members felt like was a waste of time. And in response to that, he said something that really took the whole room into frenzy. Let's watch that.
I don't know why my honorable member wants to lead him into temptation. Why? He should just leave him to stay where he is. No. Honorable nominee, please, stay on course and refuse his temptation. Please.
Mr. Chairman, the only reason I want to refuse the temptation is for us to hurry up before Apenyomaken comes.
Well, that was the deputy minister designated for the finance ministry. But wait, did that response really imply that he's afraid of Apenyomaken? Well, anyway, let's move on. Next on our list, we have deputy minister designate for energy and green transition, Richard Jan Minsters vetting process. Now, the minority leader, Apenyomaken, while reading his profile, noticed that one of his hobbies was reading. And so he asked him what particular kind of things he likes to read. And the deputy minister designate responded he was interested in literature books. And minority leader, who likes to drag things, of course, like someone I know, further asked him his favorite novel. Our deputy minister designate replied, Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. So the minority leader asked him again what his thoughts were on the main character, Okonkwo, was. He had a very funny reply. Let's see what he had to say.
You earlier referred to Okonkwo. What have you to tell us about Okonkwo?
Mr. Chairman, I just indicated that Okonkwo's love for people and the quest to always bring people around him is something that I have learned from him.
Honorable Minister, you helping. That ain't Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. Probably you read another one.
You mean Okonkwo's love for people and to... Oh, say it again.
Mr. Chairman, I said Okonkwo's receptive life that is always bringing people together is to show love to them. It's something that I also have learned.
Would you want to have an opportunity to refreshing your memory now, or will you prefer that you stay clear of this Chinua Achebe book? Since it's been 5 years since you said you read it 5 years ago. I can move away from it if you don't immediately recollect. Do you remember anything about bravery?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I do.
And that bravery is associated with who?
It's associated with Okonkwo.
Now you are back home. But this love for people and all, Anyway. You said 5 years ago, so it's okay.
Now we are really back home. What you talking about? Hey, Okonkwo was anything but a unifier. Well, that was just by the way. Let's move on. Now, the next on our list is the Deputy Minister Designate for Food and Agriculture. Everybody's favorite, John Kofi Seto Dumelo, actor cum politician. Now, this gentleman had a very remarkable vetting process, and I'm going to take some highlights of them in bits for you. But first, while Minority Leader Appenyo Markin was reading his profile, he noticed that the Deputy Minister Designate enlisted a number of languages that he was fluent in. There was Ga, there was Fanti, there was Tree, but when it came to Ewe, Appenyo Markin, being an Ewe himself, asked him a question that triggered a very interesting answer from John Dumelo. Let's hear. Let's watch it.
Tree? Ga, is your Ga 50-50 or 100%?
My Ga is 70-30.
Which of them? The Osu one or La or Gamashi Ga?
The Oponglo one. The Oponglo one.
The Oponglo Ga?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then your Ewe?
Oh, my Ewe there, respectfully, I think I'm better than you small.
Oh, Nyatepea?
Melkui.
Oh. So, you mean you are better than me? Small.
If my answer wouldn't mean you would worry me, then I have to be.
Well, it's unfortunate. Mine was 100%. But when they took me back to Winneba, the Futu, which is a Guan language, took away the Anlo. And by the time I got to St. Augustine's, that was the first time I met the language again.
But who asked about Appenyo Markin's history of Ewe? Nobody asked.
And he couldn't come again, unfortunately. Because I lived in Chame and started my school in Chame. I lived with my grandma. Yes, and I could speak Manlo fluent. But I'm trying. You know, I'm trying to build my capacity on that. So help me.
Mr. Chairman, maybe we can take classes together.
Very well. So, and then your French is also 100% or
That's
on
about
pay?
On pay, 20%. Enough to buy something and sell something and...
D'accord.
Merci beaucoup.
If you ask me, I think the Honorable Minority Leader just used John Dumelo's vetting process, the language part, to enlighten us that he is also a multilingual, Since everybody's talking about French, let me also tell you guys that I'm a fluent speaker in French as well. Merci beaucoup. But hey, let's move on. Now, still on John Dumelo's vetting process. Minority Leader again, this man again, in the process, he kind of tipped him for presidency in 2028. Let's watch it.
Okay. John, it looks like you have some presidential ambition.
Oh.
Yes, because the way, because there's going to be vacancy. No, it's a privilege to serve your nation. Don't run away from it. No. Don't run away. You are an actor, a businessman, an MP. Come 2028, there will be vacancy. Ashanti, Masa, you qualify. You are 41. You overqualify.
Oh, Honorable Minority Leader. Why did you do that? I feel like if John actually had intentions of running for presidency in the coming years, Minority Leader brought it out too soon. I feel like John should have been the best person to say it. Probably would have held a press conference or just gone for the primaries with the NDC. But nobody will be surprised again because Minority Leader has said it. Anyway, but wait, before we move on, did you see John Dumelo's wife's face when that was mentioned?
The way, because there's going to be vacancy. No, it's a privilege to...
I could use some first lady, That is a brilliant idea that you brought up. Could we, let's watch the facial expression again. Did you see what I saw? Oh well, we move on. Who am I? Now, while during his vetting process again, we are still on John Dumelo, MP for Tolon constituency, who is also on the vetting committee decided to ask him a question, and after the question, he gave him an advice.
But I wouldn't say that, except to say that, or to add that if you go to the ministry, try to assist your minister. The ministry is a very, it's big, it's huge, and you should not try to jump the gun. And also note that when you go to the ministry, you are not in your movie industry as you are. Try to be as serious as you can, so that you can be able to assist your minister to succeed. I thank you, Mr. Chairman. And
Oh, Honorable, that I think that wasn't fair. That wasn't really fair, you know, that advice in public like that wasn't really fair. And John Dumelo, I expected a better answer from you. I expected him to say something, but he just gave us a facial expression. But well, creatives did not take that lightly. Some fellow creatives have said, criticized the MP for Tolon constituency for that advice or comment. Now, one that I'm going to share with you is George Kwe, fellow creative George Kwe. In an interview after the vetting, he said that, let me read what he said. If it was me, I would have seized it as a perfect opportunity to make a statement for the sector that made me. The sector made me, and I would defend it. I think he's right. John Dumelo came out from the movie industry, so if such a statement is made about it, he was sure right to have defended it, but he didn't. So we move. Next up, we have the vetting process for Deputy Justice and Attorney General, Dr. Justice Sremsrai. Now, this vetting was supposed to be the last of the day. I think that was Wednesday, but it took a very wrong turn. Let's start. First, minority clash with the chairman over performance of a local dance. While the minority was asking the minister designate some questions about his culture and where he comes from, he mentioned a particular local dance that the minority had not heard before, Akpi. Where I come from, we dance Akpi, so I knew it, but a lot of people didn't know about the Akpi. So he asked for a little demonstration of the Akpi dance. Well, the chairman of the vetting committee didn't see that question very relevant, so he overruled it. Minority leader Penyo Makin didn't like the overruling of the question, and so things took a very wrong turn.
And I do not think that if you start by is overruled. The man is talking about a dance that we all don't know until today. If anybody had asked me in the Volta region, as part of our culture, what are the dances, I would have said Agbaja and Bobobo. Today, he is enlightening me and others. And I'm saying that he should demonstrate it just in some 30 seconds. And you saying that, you know, you are disallowing the question.
From the fact that you are saying I'm being whimsical, you are not going to
you were whimsical,
any dance.
You were whimsical and capricious in the way you overruled my question. I will not withdraw.
You would not demonstrate any dance.
Well, that was kind of unfortunate. Well, in the heat of all this dispute, the chairman of the committee, that is Bernard Ahiafo, decided to end the vetting process. And before ending it, the minority leader, you know, in retaliation for the overruling and the unfair treatment that he felt was merited unto him, he decided to reject the nomination of Justice Sremsrai and all other nominees for the day.
Without more, let me conclude as follows. That one, the minority caucus hereby rejects the nomination of the Deputy Attorney General, and that the decision of it would be solely yours as a majority caucus. For today, all other nominees, in furtherance of our protests, we are also rejecting them, and then your decision, it will remain your decision as majority caucus. God willing, tomorrow, we are receiving the president and the...
Oh, well, nobody was expecting that, but just like he said, whatever the majority decides is on the majority alone, and I think the majority always carries the vote, and so they'll have the yes or the yay. Last on our list is still on this same vetting. After the minority leader decided to reject the nomination, he, followed by the other minority members on the committee, walked out just like that in the middle of the vetting process while the chairman was still talking.
Thank you, honorable members. In a short response, I would want to place was to ask 3 questions, and indeed he has asked 3 questions. Honorable members, I take a great exception to the minority leader saying I am political, capricious.
What have you to say? Ghana politics for you. What do you make of the walkout on the chairman? Share with us in the comments below. But hey, here is where we draw the curtains on this week's episode of Who Said What. If you think there's any remarkable and unforgettable moment during the vetting that I left out, you could draw my attention in the comments below. And see you same time when we drop another video. My name is Miss Angie, your host.